What is responsible for this violence, for this rebellion, is the inability of the city government to feel, as human beings, the plights of the majority of the people in this city. And that is the cause of this violence.
I already know, because you living through it.
We lived through it, yes, sir.
Okay, so the thing is with me, I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the difference, like, in the change of the times? Like, what do you think might have caused the pendulum to shift?
Well, you know, it started getting worse it started getting worse, I'd say maybe about the early 70s. When I was in St. Louis, 1970.
Are you in St. Louis, man?
I was in St. Louis, 1970.
Okay. What part of St. Louis was you from?
No, I'm from here.
Yeah, from here, but what part was you residing in?
Sure, I was living on an area called 4011 and right. And at that time, I was about 10 years old. I can remember when back in them days, when it was getting high back then, it was paint. It was inhaling paint.
So they was huffing.
They was huffing.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember one time we lived on a street called 4011 and right, and I was going to the store for my mama one time, and it's this strip behind my house was called the Harlemo Track. Anybody in St. Louis know where Harlemo Track located at?
The
Harlemo Track.
Okay.
And it's just a road where a lot of the city buses go. And I mean, I was walking from the store to that track, and was these two dudes getting high, sniffing paint. They sniff paint, they roll up in the sock, and they inhale it. That damn cat.
He's crazy.
And she seen me coming, and I was walking. They wanted to say, "Hey, boy," and these was two grown men.
Yeah.
And they was chasing after me, man. I was about 10 years old. Started chasing after me. I dropped my mama's groceries and kept on booking.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old.
So how do you think that affected your life to in that community that you grew up?
No, I didn't grow up there. We was just living there.
Okay, well,
I didn't grow up there. No.
Okay, well, while you was there, did that affect you?
That affected me. Yeah, it affected me. It affected me a lot. No, I wasn't growing up there. No.
Yeah.
No.
So were you in the military?
No. My stepdad was a con man. That's what he did.
Man.
He's a con artist.
Okay. Yeah, you was telling me something about that.
He did con scams.
So did any of that? Did any of that rub off on you?
No.
Okay.
No. It was not that. But my stepdad moved around from one end of the country to the next, dragging us with him. That's what he did. He did home improvements, con art scams.
Okay.
Did that ever since the mid-60s.
So did you ever get into any trouble behind that?
No. My stepdad kept me out of that.
Okay. So your stepdad, he kept you out of it instead of getting you involved in it.
Right.
So even though he was doing something negative, he didn't want that to reflect on you.
Right.
So he protected you from becoming the individual that he was.
That's right.
So in so many words, he wanted you to be better than him.
That's right.
So how did you feel about that in the long run?
Well, you know, at that time when I didn't know that's my stepdad. Who's that?
One of the kids.
At that time, I didn't know. See, at the time, hey, teenager. At that time, I didn't know. See, my mother never told me about my real father. She kept me in the dark for a while. So I did ever since.
Your real father?
Yeah.
Okay.
She never told me about my real dad. I never even heard of him. I didn't know my back in with my stepdad. See, my mother left my real dad when I was an infant, and met my stepdad coming out of the army. He's an ex-military man.
Okay.
And so when she met him here in Kansas City, I was a baby.
Okay.
And my mother left just about 2 years on my great aunt and great uncle's house.
Okay.
Here in Kansas City. And she just up and left. When she came back, my stepdad was sitting out in the car. That was about 1960, 63, 64.
Okay.
And then we stayed home here for about until 65.
You say stay home here?
Here, I'm from here. I'm born here. Born here in Kansas City.
Okay.
I'm born here.
Okay.
I born at Old General Hospital right here. Right Truman Medical Center is that right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Old General's right across the street from there. That's where the Old General Hospital used to be.
Oh, that's interesting.
I was born there. My sis was born in the King of the World right there. It used to be right there on
You say King of the World?
King of the World Hospital.
That was a hospital?
That was a hospital.
Man, I never
Queen
knew
of the
that.
world, Queen of the world, back in the 60s.
Queen of the world.
Back in the 60s.
Okay.
Before Truman and all that, back in the 1960s.
All right.
She was born in that hospital. I was born in a general hospital, right, where Truman Medical Center sits right now. Back in the 60s. Truman Medical Center wasn't there back in the early 60s.
Okay.
It was Old General back then.
Old General.
Old General. I was born in that hospital.
Okay, I never knew that.
Yes. Before
interesting.
Truman Medical Center, there was no Truman Medical back in the 60s.
Okay.
It was General Hospital. And I was born in that hospital. 1961.
So
anyway,
then you went down to St. Louis at what time?
No, we didn't come. This, I mean, how it works. Okay, when we left Kansas City in 1965, we went to L.A., Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
And we stayed in Los Angeles until '66. Left there and went to Newark, New Jersey. We stayed in Newark, New Jersey from 1966 to 1970.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, 1966 to 1970.
1970 is like when I was born.
Okay, that's when we stayed in Newark, New Jersey from 1966 to 1970.
I remember I think you was telling me something.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
My family knows a lot. My aunts, my uncles know a lot when we were going on my life when we were growing up. Me and my siblings, I'll be dragged around from one country to the next. So we were born. We stayed from Newark, New Jersey. I was in the 1968 riot there. I was 7 years old with all that shit.
Those who remember 1967 as the summer of love may have forgotten what happened that year in cities like Newark, New Jersey.
We will not tolerate violence. We're going to crush violence in this city.
For nearly a week, residents clashed with police after a cab driver named John Smith was beaten by officers of the 4th Precinct.
They started dragging me through the streets, and this evidently incensed the people of the community.
And that precinct had a notorious reputation.
It was a riot?
Yes, 1968, man, 1968.
Okay.
It was all over the country. When Martin Luther King
The king, I think he got shot.
He got shot.
He got
he got shot in Memphis.
Memphis, at the Lorraine Hotel.
Right.
Or was that room 302?
Right. He got shot in
302?
Memphis.
Okay, yeah.
When that shit happened in April of 1968, that's when the country had exploded. There was riots all over the United States, not just there, all over. In every city, from Los Angeles to New York, Detroit, and here it was all over.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yes, it was all over the United States.
So how did that? So how do you think that affected the development of the United States after that? Because I know it had to be some type of change with that attitude. Because if people was rioting like that, they had to show that they was not only that the conditions were unbearable. You know, because a lot of times you can go through things and be uncomfortable in conditions, but when the conditions become unbearable, then you have riots and things of that nature.
It was so bad, man, but the riots really started before Martin Luther King got killed.
Okay.
It started in Watts in Los Angeles.
Hey, I heard about the Watts
in 1965.
Okay.
That's before.
Now we get to
that's before Martin Luther King got killed. Before King got killed, it started in Los Angeles, California, in 1965.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yes, it started in Watts in Los Angeles. 1965.
Officer pulled over a 21-year-old black motorist he suspected of drunk driving. As the officer and the motorist got physical, onlookers rushed in, believing they were seeing another example of excessive force by a police department many viewed as an occupying force in the predominantly black area of Watts. Before long, buildings were being burned, businesses looted, blood spilled. The Watts riots would last 6 days and cover more than 46 square miles of South L.A. 34 people would die. More than 1,000 would be hurt. More than $40 million of property damaged, about $300 million in today's dollars. Many in the black community called what happened a violent reaction to years of second-class treatment at the hands of whites.
That's when the first riot. Then when Martin Luther King got shot in 1968, the whole country went crazy.
Yeah. And then it's like, after the riots and things of that, well, after the riots and things of that nature, normally the government has some form of pacification. I mean, to me, that's like how history goes. So, could you speak about how the people was pacified after that?
Well, see, I was a kid when all that crap was going on.
Okay.
I was a kid. So I can remember bits and pieces when that riot started, because I was 7 years old when that riot started.
Okay.
68. I was a kid.
So how many riots have you witnessed in your life, in your lifespan?
Okay. That first one, 65 on TV.
65, and that was the Watts.
That was the Watts riot in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
And then we lived in that. Then in 68 riot, I lived in that. I can remember my mama told me come in the house when it started burning down the neighborhood in Newark, New Jersey when I was living there.
Okay.
I was living in Newark, New Jersey when that shit was going on.
Okay.
And that damn near burned down the whole damn fucking city.
This was an explosive period. When they think of riots, they think of Newark. Detroit happened 2 weeks after. This was happening all over the country. You had these majority black cities or majority black communities, and they were patrolled by nearly all white police forces and abusing people, violating people's constitutional rights.
So in the community, what part of the city or what part of the community was burning down?
It was a black community.
Black community. So and then that to me is like what's confusing. If we're upset with the conditions and the conditions become unbearable, why is it like we start to attack ourselves internally?
Like I said, I was only 7 years old when that shit was going on.
Yeah.
Remember, my mama told me come in the house and start burning up the whole neighborhood, stores, businesses, and all that type of crap. I was 7 years old.
Okay.
And Newark, New Jersey is. I'm gonna tell you, Newark, New Jersey. That is the worstest town that I have ever lived in. I mean, it was bad.
Was it racist or?
No, I'm talking about, you name it. I'm talking about racist, stuff like that. But the area I lived in was the black community.
Oh, okay.
We lived
so it was
white.
internal. It was internal attack.
Right. And them jokers will rob you, steal. I don't care if it's an 8-year-old kid, they will rob you.
So I got a question. Why do you think that it is that, I'm gonna say we or us, because I'm going to involve myself in it, because I have also perpetuated violence and things of that nature, because I've been in prison 21 years. Why is it that we never attack the outside forces that causes us to behave in the manner, in the particular ways that we do? I mean, we have to change that, because I mean, history shows us. Even in the Watts riot, just like you said, they was tearing the whole neighborhood down.
They burned the whole neighborhood
only
down.
Just to rebuild it. But do you think that the people that really implemented the system is really tripping off of individuals tearing up their own neighborhood?
Yeah, but you gotta understand something. They didn't care as long as they in the black neighborhood.
Exactly.
They didn't give a damn about that. Long as don't filtrate in the white neighborhood. That's what I'm saying. They don't give a fuck what the black neighborhood. They don't care if they kill each other. What? See, they did that shit because they wanted to exterminate you. That's why they did.
Hey, that's a heck of a word. That's a heck of a word that you use right there.
Yeah,
but
that's true. But that's true. It's true.
I'm just looking at in the context. I'm just looking at the in the context and what you put it, because to exterminate something, man, that's like on a whole other level when you're dealing with humans.
It's okay. That's like Native Americans. Okay, they did the same thing to them.
The indigenous people.
Indigenous people. Okay. When they came over here, they took their land, starved them to death, and killed most of them, and put the ones left over alive, put them in little reservations. The same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a form of little discrimination. That's all it is. Cutting down the population.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you see any similarities between the way times were in that era, and let's speed it up to 2023, because we finna wrap it on up. What are some of the similarities that you see as far as from that era, as far as the self-destruction within the black community, as well as how were they helping the black community during that time? And we understand that that form of help can't be applied to this time of era because it was only beneficial and it can only help then. So what is it that you think that we could take from that era, bring it up into this era, maybe build it up and help to combat the extermination?
Okay. I said the main thing though we brothers got to do to me is get back in the household and raise their sons,
To be men.
to be men. So don't still that vicious cycle.
Okay.
See, right now the women is is wearing the pants. The sisters wearing the pants. So we got to get more fathers in the household to say we teach their sons.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. But that's a whole nother,
and this is why
that's a whole nother topic.
This is why a lot of young boys are crazy right now because there's nobody teaching these boys to become men.
I agree.
And this is the whole reason they took daddy out the household. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that back in the 1950s, even back in the early 60s. Pop was in the household raising his son.
He was the breadwinner.
He was the breadwinner.
He was the breadwinner.
When they start putting this dope in the black neighborhood, and then the welfare system said, well, your husband can't stay there no more. Now she's got to be a breadwinner.
Yeah.
So these young boys go out on the street, they ain't got nobody to mold them come in.
Yeah.
See? So they run to the games for comfort.
Okay. So they go up. So what you're saying is they go to the gang looking for a family structure.
Right. Because there's no family structure at home. Mama got
a male figure.
No male figure. So mama got this dude, that dude coming like a robbing door.
Exactly.
She's not married.
Exactly.
She ain't got. This is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
This is what I'm saying. Even in my time in the 60s, there was some type of male figure in them boys' Raleigh, even back in the 60s. There was some male figure. I don't care what stepdad. He was there and he was there and to mold that boy. But all that crap changed, and I say maybe about the late 70s. And then when crack cocaine came out in the 80s, it started getting worse.
Okay. So it's like the drugs play a big part of it. The father not being in the home is a big part of it.
Right.
The incarceration rate is part of the reason why men are not in the homes.
Right. They're not married. They're not having raising families. And you got to look at other ethnic communities, okay?
Exactly.
For number one.
Exactly.
You look at the Mexican family. Pops is in the household. He's not banning his sons.
No.
And that's why their community is so strong. Pops, see, they tried that with the Mexican community too, but it didn't work.
Nah, they stood together.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
You could go to any Mexican community, make the Mexican community with their kids. They with their kids.
Exactly.
Ain't no stepdad, nothing like that. They with their natural kids.
Yeah. With them, it's like they married for life.
They're married for life.
Yeah.
And you gotta look with and don't. That's not them. You got the white folks doing it. You got the Asians. They stick with their families. They're not gonna turn their back on them.
The Israelis, all of them. You know, all of them. They stick to all of the ethnic groups. They stick together. They don't go outside of the group to keep their lineage.
Right.
The purification of their lineage.
And them women ain't running to man. They're married one man. That's the one they're with. They're not married to this dude, that dude going around like a revolving door, having kids out of wedlock.
Exactly. My
stepdad told me one thing. I ain't never forget. He told me. He said, if you ever make a woman pregnant, you better make sure you take care of that baby.
Exactly.
That's what my stepdad taught me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that would stop that. I never had any kids because I don't have an education. I can't take care of no baby.
Yeah.
So what kind of father I'll make?
True.
I'm not going to be suffering with trying to raise a baby and working on a minimum wage job. I can't do it. I have no education, no nothing. I can't raise a baby when I want to raise my son or daughter. What kind of father I make? I can't give them a proper life. So I never had any kids.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go around and stick my shit in this, that. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. If it meant to be, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life and childish, so be it.
So be it. And we're going to wrap it up with that. We here with Unc. That's a history lesson. We're coming from Watts, going to Newark, New Jersey.
Newark. Yes,
And we just want to elaborate and talk a little bit about history and how history back then is also affecting us now. And if we can understand the things that was happening then, maybe we can rectify them and make a change.
May I say one thing?
Go ahead. 9.
Get the father back
7,
in the household
6,
so he could raise his son, become men.
3.
Sam said to me today that all this would not have happened if Negroes had been treated differently. And he said, if you treat somebody like a mad dog, he's going to behave like a mad dog. Is that a little too extreme for you, or do you believe that?
Well, I have to go along with that.